Okay guys, we are back. We are done with our max heating rods coilover install. We have all our BC stuff over there. We have now fully installed all four corners of the suspension. So it went together very well. The springs in the back were a little bigger than the BCs. But the shocks were about the same size, adjustable as well. So we just matched the rear to the rear shocks from the BCs to the Max, made in the same height since we already had the back of the car kind of dialed in as far as the height and everything like that. So we made the rear about the same size. Our next thing is to get wheels and tires back on it, get it set back down on the ground, and kind of see where it sits as far as height, and see what we're looking at as far as, you know, overall. But before we do that, we want to probably drill and make our stuff, since the car is up on jack stands and we have space. But next video, guys, we'll be putting the wheels back on, getting our height adjusted, putting our Mishimoto overflow tank, see if we can mount it here, and getting everything kind of set up to actually start this car and move it out of the driveway for once in 4 years. What's 2017? It's 2023. 6 years? Oh, actually, it was inspected 2019 was the last inspection, but I never put the inspection sticker on, so it's actually only been 4 years. So 4 years, still bad, but let's, I don't know where this video left off, but we are making the bracket for the water here for the overflow tank. We are gonna mount this and test where we're gonna mount this and see if the hood closes. If it being right here, does the hood close and able to have the cap on, and that it's high enough that it doesn't, sorry, we have Amelia over there listening on my YouTube, following up why I'm making brackets and fabricating stuff. So if we can mount this and get this mounted right here. Why would you do that? Why? Okay, so what I did was to mount this little bracket down here was I shut the hood all the way down, and then from the bottom, of course, we pushed the tank as far up as we could, touching the bottom of the hood, but then brought it back down 1/4 of an inch and then set the bracket. So that sets our height. And as you can see, that puts us actually well above the radiator, which is what we need. We'll make our little vent pipe here, goes from from right there. This will vent out to the atmosphere, and then I am going to make a little bracket from here to hold this up here, so that this doesn't just flop around just like it is on that side, but I'll make it over here, some sort of bracket. I don't know yet. We'll figure out what we have as far as material. I think I have some aluminum right there up on the wall, and we'll make something little L brackety from here to here. Instead of having this clip here, which is broken anyways, put a bolt right there and go from there to there, just to hold this tight so it doesn't sit there and flop around. And then what we'll do is we'll run this hose right here underneath, and then put it in, hook it up, and that is done. I do need to find, so I gotta go to the junkyard tomorrow for Marissa's parents a third brake light for their Escalade. I may need to pick up a new floater slash coolant level sensor. Granted, the coolant level sensor has never worked on this, so it always shows low coolant. So it's just to plug that hole on the bottom so that it doesn't leak out everywhere. So a make pick those up tomorrow at the junkyard if there's an E36 with a coolant tank out there, or the plug. So we'll figure that out when we get there, but let's figure out some sort of little whoop, 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 whoop there, and I will cut that hose and run it, and we'll see what we get. So fail. I forgot that the hose that I used to run all the way over and run that tank when we had the E30 setup, Euro setup, E30 M3 setup over there, the hose was smaller. So the hose that we have here that runs to this is too small. It doesn't fit. Like you can see, like this is too small. So I need to get the OEM where this thing clips in and goes. I need to get the OEM hose. So thank goodness we're going to the junkyard tomorrow. We can grab that OEM hose. I know there's a couple E36s out there. So we should be able to just snap that, cut that hose just a length. We just need about 2 foot of it to make our connection, and then we'll be done. So because we can't do that, we can't hook it up, but we can pop this thing out, put a bolt here, and kind of start fabricating up a bracket to hold the top of the coolant here. I'm thinking we do like a whole plate kind of idea. I don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll see what I come up with. Okay, be back. Had to go to the junkyard to get some parts, which we did. Which we got our coolant hose and our cap for the bottom of our, I don't know if you can see it, the cap right there. The cap on this, because we're not using a coolant level sensor. But that is all hooked up. We're actually need to fabricate a bracket for this from here to here to figure out what we're gonna do kind of for this. I want to make a bracket so this isn't just flopping around in here. I need some sort of bracket to go from there to there, around, I don't know. I gotta figure that out. So I gotta make that bracket. Then one thing I did notice is our throttle linkage, I don't know why it's on this side. It needs to be on the other side, so we need to flip that over. This is all hooked up, but not fantastic. Like it's just laying in there because we have to put the manifold in. But I got a few little things I have to do here and there. I got to figure out where all these connectors connect into. I got a bunch connected, but I got like my oil back here, the oil temp sensor that I got to finish tightening up. That has a sensor somewhere, but I don't know where it is. So I got to find that. And figure out where that plug is, because I know a bunch of these plugs are like similar, so they all kind of look the same, so we got to figure that out. So I'm gonna do some digging and some cleaning up of our wires and stuff just to kind of get this in check before we grab the manifold down from the beautiful attic and try to figure out where it goes, because I think we can, once we fill this with coolant, we can kick it over You know, granted, we still have a bunch of work to do as far as getting hoses that we need, hooking up our actual can, putting our cover back on over there, and tidying up a bunch of stuff. But I think we're almost there. I don't know, not this video probably. It's gonna be going through stuff, but definitely next video? I don't know, we'll see. Let's get to it. So we have gotten a lot of these wires and hoses cleaned up a little bit. I did notice that so as you can see, a lot of this stuff is cleaned up and out of the way and ready basically for our intake manifold. But I adjusted the way the throttle linkage worked, because it was rubbing on that fuel hose, so I kind of adjusted it a little bit, so that we have a little bit more room. I actually think that's supposed to go straight down, but yeah, with the fuel line and everything, I don't think that's even possible. So you know, without getting like a straight fuel line with that end and running a hose up to yeah, I honestly don't know. But we need to put this back on, and I kind of need to figure out how this sits under here, because it, you know, the old one sat in this thing, but that's too close to this throttle to fit back in that rubber thing with its you know, because it sits like right there. So I got to kind of figure out where this gonna sit and work the best. So let's get to it and see where that can fit, and I'll be right back. So we definitely got that cleaned up a lot more. I think this is the plug. Hang on. I think this is the plug for that. There. Oh shoot! I dropped you guys. Flip it back over. So we are cleaned up. So it looks a lot better than what it did 5 minutes ago. So we have our coolant tank done. Well, other than the bracket that I gotta make. And we have cleaned up all our wires. We do need to have, I think I have some vacuum hose. Got a lot of extra wood around. We're doing home projects, and I'm about to drop everything. I have freaking 10 AN. That might work. Let's see. Will it work? Oh my god, it's like 10 feet of it. Ah. Sorry guys, sorry guys, sorry guys, sorry guys. Let's see if this works for our vacuum hose. It may not. Nope, does not work. Too big. Okay. Too big for that. Too small for that. So we can finish up our thing. Let's see if we got some vacuum hose around here. Well, I don't have any hosing to finish that vacuum line up from the rail to the brake booster. I don't have that. I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot and to AutoZone, whatever, O'Reilly's, and get that. Usually I have so much of that stuff like laying around, but for some reason I don't. It's just been forever. So next thing we need to do is kind of make up a bracket template for this thing right here, so that I can see what we can make out of cardboard first, and then cut it out of metal, because technically we could fill the coolant system with water and have that ready to be bled and stuff, and then we just have to worry about the vacuum system, which is this, which we need to get AN12 line, or yeah, AN12 line, so I can do that over to that, and then that vacuum hose, and then technically we can plug that hose and try to start it. It's on an alpha in tune right now anyway, so it should at least start. I think we have to repin. I think we have to pull this out and repin the throttle position sensor. I think one wire has to swap, but we need to verify that first because I got some connections. I need to talk to a few people and see how the throttle position is actually hooked up and which one it is, because I think it's this one, but I'm not entirely 100% sure because that normally sits over there and right now it's over here, and I feel like that is super long, that it shouldn't be that long, but I feel like it should be a short one that I'd have to like move over, but I may be wrong. Cause I guess the throttle's over here, so I guess it is that long. I haven't looked at all this stuff in so long that I don't remember what goes where. And of course, my dumbass, I did not mark any of the connections to where they go. So I may run over to the junkyard and look at a diagram of, you know, an E36 that's out there and see what it is, but for this, guys, I think that's it. It's not a lot, but we got the parts we needed, and we got our coolant reservoir mounted. Well, basically mounted. We just gotta make a bracket for it. But yeah. Well, no. Let's make a bracket. Let's make a bracket. Let's not call this in. Let's make a bracket. Let's stop dilly-dallying around. Let's make a bracket. So let's make a bracket. So I never get rid of old cardboard boxes because we can freaking make up templates here. So we want this. We're gonna try to use this hole here. We want to hold this tight there, right against the headlight, kind of. So we need to hold it there and make a template. So let's see what we got. Okay. So we have our 3 holes, which what we did was we put them like this, and we pushed down real hard, and we got the indentation. So we have, the size of all this. What I'm kind of thinking is we do like a half circle around this just to capture that, and then we encompass this, and we encompass this, and it bends down and goes up and under this. So it's just like a little Z bracket kind of that holds this in place. It's not gonna, you know, like strap down or anything, but it'll hold it in place. So what I'm kind of thinking here is like a little, come up here, do that, we do this, come around here. Which way is this? That's that way. Then we come this way, down here, and like that way. I think that's about what we need. Yeah. So let's cut this out and see what we get. Look at that. Little cardboard aided drafting. Who needs a computer that I work on every day? So we will get our, take this, find some material in this garage somewhere. I don't know what I got. Carbon fiber piece. No, because then we gotta bend it. It needs to have a bend, so it's gotta be metal. I don't know if I got any metal here. Might have to run to Lowe's again. Gonna be doing a lot of shopping. I do not see any spare metal over here. Yep, might have to go get a small piece of metal so that we can transfer this design over to metal and bend it up and put it on and be done. So now we're done, because now I gotta go shopping and I gotta find all of these little pieces, and we need to get our intake manifold down from the attic and start cutting things off of that so that it will fit in here. But guys, we are almost there. I gotta order these so we can finish up the vacuum side of stuff. But this thing will almost start, guys. So she runs. But we have oil leak, we have dust, we have dirt, we have smoke, and I can tell you right now, this isn't gonna work. So that's all gonna come off. We're not gonna run an oil cooler. We're done. We're gonna pull that whole apparatus. We're gonna put the plug on there. We're gonna call that a day. We're not gonna run an oil cooler. Screw that. That's a big oil leak, as you can see. All this, like, yeah, the whole bit is an oil leak, but hey, it runs.